Hey you guys, this is Editing Q. I was really thinking hard to redo this video over. There's a fan in the background and I have adjusted the audio as much as I could. I do apologize. I will never do this again. For now on, I was like in a rush and wanted to go ahead and speak on this. It was on the top of my dome. And the reason why I didn't do it over is because I didn't feel like I was going to be able to get all the gems and all the nuggets that I said in this video repeated again without it sounding choppy or really make it even worse. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did the best that I could with the editing, and I'll make sure not to do it like this again. My apologies. Okay, we're going to try to do this video while I'm doing my hair. I got somewhere to go tomorrow. Trying to design get my locks together, child. Like, I have peeped out back in the early
more like
2000s,
the mid-2000s,
where I noticed where the parents was getting a little lazy when the laws came out about not whooping your children. Now, if you don't whoop your children, that's here and there, okay? Tread lightly when you do things like that, right? So, when it comes to that, I've noticed that, like, all of a sudden, the discipline stopped. Just because they were passing law about, corporal punishment doesn't mean for you to stop disciplining altogether. Like, you completely stop doing anything and everything. So, recently, as we started seeing in school, is that a lot of the children just started being really crazy about their devices being taken away, their cell phones or their iPads at school. We're not supposed to have technology at all in school, but like, you're just gonna sit up here and throw a whole tantrum over your device being taken away. Now, I come from a time where there was no internet existed, no computer existed. I knew how to have fun without any type of electrical devices. It was all about the bike, honey. like what are we doing here? An iPad? A cell phone? I don't believe in children having cell phones 12 years old, 11 years old, 10 years old, younger than that. At first, I thought maybe I would be one of the parents that would give my child a cell phone at that point, but only if I saw if it was necessary. I don't see it necessary yet. I'm going to be just like my mother for the most part, is that you're not going to get a cell phone until you're able to pay for the service every month. It'll show you a value of $1 and show you how not to be spoiled. Now, this is the key point and key issue when it comes to these parents. That you can tell as a parent or tell the person that have children of what's happening. You are spoiling them. Like, it's so freaking obvious. There's no reason why a child should get pissed off or mad over you taking an iPad or cell phone away unless you literally use that device to raise them.
as in place of you as a parent.
Especially these iPads. Yeah, my child has an iPad, don't have a cell phone. But I can tell when their communication skills are being affected to that technology. So what I do is I give them a break away from it. Or I have them do other curricular activities. When I was growing up, we did curricular activities in order for us to stay off the streets. Now we need to take care of our children, have curricular activities to keep them off of the electronic devices so that they will be well-rounded, so they know how to communicate with other humans. It's so weird. It's crazy how we advance to do better in life than we were supposed to be back in the day, but then we lose the good things from back in the day altogether, and now where we at now is just bullcrap. And when you discipline a child, why are their privileges like the cell phone, the iPad not being taken away? You, like, parents will sit up here and get so bobbulated, or like, oh, they're going to be mad at me. Oh, they're going to get upset. They're going to have a tantrum. That's what children do. They are adolescents. They're not adults like you, so they don't know how to properly process their emotions. So therefore, what you do is that you help them out and guide them and let them know your behavior is unacceptable. Your iPad is being taken away. Your cell phone is being taken away until you know how to properly process your behavior better. And you do it at a young age. You don't sit up here and wait to do it later in life where it's harder to teach them. Now, I'm not a dang expert. I have one child. I don't have to have 3,000 million children be able to tell you if you're doing it wrong or not. Your child should not have a whole tantrum at the school over no iPad. Period. They don't take a rocket scientist to know that you're doing something wrong at the household. Y'all want to have every excuse under the sun to say, well, to discredit me or anybody else that says anything about what you're doing is wrong. Well, there's a lot of people that's speaking up, but they don't even have children themselves. So let me be the one that does have children, that do have children. Y'all want to try to use some English on me. Shut up. Anywho, if we want to be for real, that's not how it works. Now, I have my troubles as a parent. Who don't? I'm raising my child as the individual that he is. And you're raising your son or daughter for the person that they are. And only you as a parent knows how to guide them based off of their personality and the person that they are. But the steps are the same, but I would say the steps are similar. They can't be exactly the same because you're raising a totally different individual. But we can't sit up here and completely go left and say, oh, we're not going to have discipline. You have to figure something out if that's not working. If the iPad's not working to change the behavior, then something else needs to be done. You're going to have to figure it out. Do as a parent. There's a lot of lazy parenting going on. It really is. Because a parent that's really serious about their job as a parent is not going to sit up here and go left like that and just get lazy or, oh, I can't do this or I can't help them with homework because of that. That's no excuse. And I understand we don't have a village the way we used to. But the issue when it comes to that is that you just got to find another way. Either you take it on yourself. It's called be responsible. You take it on yourself, or you find a family member, auntie, uncle, friend that may be able to assist you with certain things. Or reach out and ask for help. That's the truth of the matter. And if you don't have that, I hate that for you, because there is a lot of single parents that don't have a village. Their child's father's whole family is not even assisting at all. And you can't get a break. And you're at your wit's end. That's why it's so important for you to do some self-care for yourself, because you don't have anyone else to give you that relief. Easier said than done, I know. But it's your child, and it's your responsibility at the end of the day. It really blew my mind when I heard a story about a child shooting a teacher's hand, and they really was thinking about prosecuting the 6-year-old. They finally did prosecute the mother about it, and she apologized and all that jazz. Don't know full details of how the child got a hand of
a weapon, but at the end of the day, the parent had to take responsibility. I think in scenarios like that and multiple others, the parent's going to have to be held responsible. And I know that is a hard pill to swallow for all parents, but something needs to be done. It's messed up because the ones that are doing right by their children by the best way they can have to be held accountable for their behavior when other parents are not doing their part. But let's go ahead and get to one of the stories of the Walmart lady with her 4-year-old. The 4-year-old had a coat on with just a diaper on, and the coat was underneath the child. A Walmart employee reported the child, and the first thing that came to my mind was like, why did she report this on social media when they already called the police? Well, I guess I see why she did it, because I feel like maybe nothing was really going to be done because they seem like she has gotten away with this before. And what blew my mind after all the full story came out, she had 3 other children. She had 2 other children, 3 in all. But they were younger than the 4-year-old, and they were home alone. That I'm like, how are you gonna have the 4-year-old with you, but not the infant and the 1 or 2-year-old? Like, none of them should be supposed to be left home alone, but you chose the youngest one. And then the audacity of the auntie that has custody of them now sit up there and say, well, she was fine prior. Well, she's not fine now. At the end of the day, because it doesn't matter what she did anytime prior, she's not taking care of her children now. Like, it just blows my mind. I sprayed my hair with water and with water and oil mix. And now I'm putting a moisturizer on top to style my hair. If you want to know. And I don't know if this is even going to work. Hold on, I should have gotten a mirror to put here, because that's what I meant to do. Because this camera is not going to work. She sit up here and said, yeah, go ahead and call the cops. They've been called before and they didn't find anything. But they found plenty this time. Plenty this time. Everyone wants to put menopause and all these other things into play. I understand, I get it, and it is real. Like, your mental is not the way it needs to be during that moment. No, from experience, someone really should be there through the first year and monitoring any woman after having a child. Not everyone's scenario and situation is the same. Because for some odd reason, those thoughts do happen. Because when you have a child, everything is rushed to put everything into place because that baby needs you off the rip immediately as that baby comes out. And it gets stressful immediately for the mother. No one seems to, I don't think I've ever heard that before. But yeah. And it's so vital for the spouse or the partner or the child's father to be there for the mother. Because mentally, we're not there as much as we want to be as a mother. And the hormones, when they settle, it's not a joke. And the hormones in your body don't fully heal unless within 2 years. Within 2 years. So if a person has a child back to back within those 2 years, they're even more damaged. Like, our bodies are phenomenal in what they do, but we still got to be realistic about the body is going through a huge amount of trauma. And if you don't get it enough time to heal and process what it went through and then go through it again, it doesn't work the same way for everybody. But with all that being said, there's still no reason for that type of behavior to go unmissed and no one is watching or making sure they're okay, because she definitely had an infant in the household and another child that's like 1 and then 4. And she comes back onto the video, back to social media, and speak as if everything was okay and she's taking accountability. And I'm just like, goodness. Now I'm gonna be brushing my locks a little bit because after I had them braided, they didn't really do that well. They're just not the same. Now I think I see what people mean by maybe you shouldn't braid your locks. I'm really not feeling the way they've been feeling since I got it done. Nothing against my hairstylist, because she did an amazing job. But anywho, back to what I was saying, like, it really makes no sense for her to be acting like that and think everything's fine. Like, no, you really got charged for child endangerment and some more things. And Child Protective Services is not always on point. We really need to get our things together. So let's go ahead and go to the next subject. I had one story that I wanted to talk about, but I haven't looked it up.
Throw a tantrum when they didn't get their way out of Walmart. The mess that you see there, that was reportedly caused by the girl. All this happened at the Lewisburg Walmart in North Carolina.
Now, I seen this on X on the internet when it first hit the scene before it went viral. And the grandmother came to Walmart with her grandchild by the looks of it. And the grandmother immediately started pulling back. She did not have control over the situation. And the bystanders were trying to help her to stop a ruckus because, as you can see, she has thrown all those plants on the ground, and even tried to throw one at one of the adults. And she was in a Walmart electrical wheelchair, and she stood up and let that child know that that wasn't going to happen. And you could tell that there was no discipline there. The grandmother completely did not know what to do or control the situation. And when I showed my child this, because this child looks roughly around his same age, but my child immediately was like, my grandmother would not allow that to happen. She would definitely got on him. I would have got on him. His dad would have got on him. His auntie and uncle would have got on him, including his great uncle and aunties would have got on him. So it's crazy how this child really thought that this behavior was acceptable. And you can tell that there's no discipline there. Because as soon as my child saw that video, my child knew that he was going to be in trouble with everybody. But that's why I went ahead and spoke about it. You know, parenting in general has really gone down. It's just out of hand. But let me speak about 8 passengers. So, Spill says she has been covering this family before they even got charged. And I knew about this family through her because I'm not a big, like I've said before, I'm not a big fan of family channels. And not because, like, I think they're damaging, which some of them are.
Who were arrested after Frankie's 12-year-old son climbed out of a window in Jody Hillebrandt's home and showed up at a neighbor's house pleading for help. That neighbor calling 911, describing the boy as emaciated.
He has duct taped around each ankle. There's sores around them.
Police also finding his sister, who they say was also malnourished, at Hillebrandt's home. Records show police responded to Frankie's home more than a dozen times over the last few years, including reports of juvenile problems in 2018 and then welfare checks in 2022. Police telling ABC News a judge denied a search warrant to go into their home. A school resource officer attempting twice to talk to the children, once unsuccessfully at school, and again later at home.
But it's just not my cup of tea. I just can't seem to stay tuned in. And I don't know. It doesn't intrigue me. But you could tell that she was not taking care of her children well. For a person that is a true crime junkie. Now, one thing that I have seen when it came to child cases is that what's up with them not feeding their children? That is not a punishment. You are to feed your child their 3 meals a day, period. You do not use meals as a source of punishment. You do everything but that. You don't sit up there and tell your child they can't eat their lunch, their breakfast, or their dinner because of any bad behavior they have done. You feed them first and then give them punishment, put them in timeout or whatever it may be, but it's not to not feed them. I have witnessed several times huge red flags. Like if they're not feeding their child, or they saying they can't eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner because of whatever the case may be, that is child abuse.
Not feeding your child should never be used as a source of punishment or discipline.
Off the rip, that is child abuse. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be feeding your child. None. If your child's hungry, feed them. And I'm not talking about making your child obese. I'm talking about literally using it as punishment. Just not feeding them at all. I've heard 2 cases where they stated that the child was robbing them because they were going to the refrigerator to get food.
You need to leave!
Boy, that blew my mind. How they robbing from their own household? For someone to sit up here and not feed their child, it just blows my mind. Do know that is like, if you ever hear that, pay attention because they really are probably malnutrition in that child. And I don't understand why people don't get how important nutrition is for a child. It really messes with their whole entire development. Them able to walk, move, and think, and messes with their brain because they're not getting enough nutrition to be able to fuel their body so they can grow as an adult or a older child.
Literally stunts their growth and makes their growth actually go backwards.
Just horrible. And that's what she was doing in 8 Passengers, was used as punishment. And then at the end of the day, when she finally got caught, after she's already been called out, prior to her meeting that lady, because she was already doing unnecessary type punishment for her children. Now, this is one thing of you not parenting, and then she's sitting up here over parenting, overdoing her dang boundaries of how she's supposed to respectfully take care of her children. She's sitting up here, and the children have ran away twice. Neighbors have called. Older sibling has called about their parent not sitting up here taking care of her children properly. And finally, after a child is malnutrition to close possibly to the bone, we didn't able to see it, but the way the neighbor expressed their concern said it all. Now we want to do something about it. Now we want to charge. And when there was enough evidence, enough calls to CPS for them to already be monitoring the world out that house. And on social media. They were already on social media showing plenty of evidence. Parents just don't know how to be sensitive when it comes to children's development and comprehension and understanding of things. They don't pay no attention to their emotions. But that's the reason for my channel. Like, I've noticed that a lot of adults don't even know their own emotional intelligence that they should have for themselves, let alone a child's. If they don't know what they need to do for themselves, how they gonna do for a child? I'm starting to get teary-eyed a little bit. Let me hold back. I've heard so many stories about children being mistreated, and then to know that was happening for the 8 passengers in such a horrible way really is upsetting. And then the father being delusional about everything and not realizing the severity of the situation. A lot of men seem to do that. They go behind their wives and don't think for themselves. Sometimes, not all. Or they're over controlling, or they're not controlling the situation enough where they need to. Should be putting their wife aside and let them know this is not right, and if this don't change, then we're gonna have a serious conversation, or we're gonna have a serious problem. You know, the men of the household wasn't being the men of the household in this situation. A little too late. And I don't blame the man alone. I blame both. And a lot of people pointed out it's crazy how she tried to blame it all on the lady that got arrested with her. But she was already bad. But when she got with her, she just got worse. And then when you pull religion into it, it's just to sit up here and excuse the behavior is just off the chain. That's why we tell you, like, there's nothing wrong with religion, but you gotta be careful. Read and research your religion for yourself. Religion is a study. So you as an adult, when you have been taught as a child and you become an adult, you should be reading the Bible or understanding your religion for yourself. Misguided by people in the pulpit or these false prophets. If you know the Bible and the religion for yourself, you would know when somebody is misspeaking the word of God. I've been taught the Bible so much to the point where someone is talking out of tone when it comes to the Bible, I fact check them. I fact check anyway. You guys, don't let religion cloud your view of what you're supposed to be doing. I believe in God, but I don't practice any religion. But if you do, you should know your religion better than anybody else, and don't get caught up and toxified by it. Some people would go by the Bible, read it for themselves, and still be misguided and misconstrued off their own understanding. So you really got to be careful. If it don't feel right, if it doesn't seem like it fits any morals, don't do it. And they kept using religion as an excuse for that behavior, and then until they went to jail, they had to realize and went to therapy to see where they went wrong. And honestly, I don't think she really understood where she went wrong, because she'd been wrong for so long. Sometimes mentally, it can't be helped when you fully don't comprehend where you went wrong. And she may never get her children's trust back again, let alone her husband. I don't know. But I know most people are like, who cares? Not everybody's perfect. Not everybody can be the perfect parent. At the end of the day, when you become an adult, you're still going to have to fill in where your parents didn't finish or fill in, or they missed. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to take care of yourself and know better. Because once you hit that threshold of 18 and up, you're going to jail. Go to jail. Shoot, even 16, 17, they going to jail. Oh, you're too close to 18. 15 too. At least in the U.S. Camera, finish my hair, exercise, take a shower, and go to bed. Remember, you guys, you are beautifully, wonderfully made. Only you can make that change. I'll see you guys on the next video.